Hello guys, very warm welcome once again to your favorite channel, that is StudyIQ as English. My name is Praveen Mishra and we are going to continue the chapter of Directive Principles of State Policy with regard to our subject, that is Indian polity. So in yesterday's session we discussed about articles till 42, right? Till article 42 yesterday we discussed, along with the basic features or the elements with regard to the chapter, that is DPSP. So continuing the very same thing, now moving forward to the next article, that is article 43, living wages etc. for the workers. The state, it is the duty of the state to secure some sort of economic platforms that is given to each and every individual, where that worker, where that individual as a worker or as a serviceman or as a labor whatsoever can have the equitable opportunity to work and earn the livelihood, right? So state shall endeavor to what? To secure by suitable legislation the economic organization or in any other way to all workers, agricultural, industrial or otherwise, work with a living wage, conditions of work, ensuring a decent standard of life and full enjoyment of leisure and social and cultural opportunities and so on. So basically speaking, Article 43 directs the state, that is, it is your responsibility, you must excel and reach the endeavors in providing the platforms, the suitable stages, the opportunities to call it the industrial labor, agricultural or whatsoever. That is the person, individual citizen of India. Each and every individual citizen of India shall be having the opportunity, the stage, the platform where the individual can work with all, like what we can say, dignity and decency, with adequate amount of facilities, not the desire ones or the some that is related to any kind of a debauchery. No, amount of facility that is basic human needs, as we discussed in the previous articles, that is with regard to Manrega, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. What are the provisions? The working site should be having clean sanitation, proper toilets should be there. Apart from that, clean drinking water facility should be there. And for those women, those who have got a young kid or a young infant or a baby with themselves, so for that woman, okay, there should be a creche facility available as well in all the working sites, okay, according to the provisions mentioned in the Manrega, right? So this is what the extension to the very same article, that is 41 and 42, that we discussed yesterday, okay, that is the duty of the state to endeavor or excel in providing the stage or the platform for all the service class, not even just the service class but all the classes, right? And yes, one more thing that is to be noted. What is that? So enjoyment of leisure and social and cultural opportunities, and in particular the state shall endeavor to promote cottage industries on an individual or cooperative basis in rural areas. Real India, rural India. Actual India resides in the villages. This is what MK Gandhi ji has to state, right? Asli Bharat gaon mein basta hai. This is what the statement he has given. Okay, actual India resides in rural areas. So real India, that is rural India. And the rural village, the rural areas, the remote areas or the semi-urban areas, their biggest punchline in economy is the cottage industries. Cottage industries as in small scale industries or a medium and small scale industries. Okay, that is with regard to the term MSMEs, medium, small, okay, enterprises, simply speaking, right? So we have got what? The cottage industries, and these cottage industries, they are the heart and soul of the rural India, remote India, okay, or the semi-urban India, right? So this is also the duty of the state to promote what? The cottage industries, okay, that is MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises. Okay, so where are these provisions enshrined? These are the provisions enshrined under Article 43, right? So next one, Article 43, capital A, that is the workers, they shall be having their say, their opinion should be kept in concentration or in attention while making any type of the managerial level decision inside any industries. So basically, Article 43 capital A, what it says that participation of the workers in the management of the industries. That this particular segment is the need of the hour. What we have seen with regard to the history of India, specifically with regard to the modern history of India, like the Satyagrah movement or the movements carried forward by Gandhiji from Champaran to Ahmedabad to Kheda, specifically talking about the Ahmedabad mill strike. What was happening in the Ahmedabad mill strike? A mill which was not ready to provide any sort of bonus, the plague bonus to the workers. The workers, those who were entitled to it, those who were, badly affected because of the plague. And apart from that, yes, it was their right as well. And it was the duty of the mill owners to provide the bonus, and the other relatable things to the workers. But the owners, they were reluctant and they straightforward, they denied. Okay, they took some managerial decisions on their own without consulting the workers, without consulting the laborers, and they denied any sort of this provision for the bonus. And as a result, what happened? The workers, they went on for the strike. They were supported by Gandhiji. Problem is not just the event of mill strike. Problem is the repercussions of the strike. It troubles the economy as a whole. It disturbs the supply chain equilibrium, and because of which all the nation, whole of the masses inside the nation, they get trouble, right? So for those things to be eliminated, for such troubles not to come into existence, Article 43 capital A comes into the picture that says, that is basically whenever there is a managerial level decision is going on, okay, sorry, that managerial level decision should be supported by the opinions and the advices and the words of the laborers of that industry. So this is what Article 43 capital A has to simply state. As you can see, the state shall take steps by suitable legislations or in any other way to secure the participation of workers in the management of undertakings, establishments, or other organizations engaged in any industry. Okay, simply speaking, the managerial decisions should not be taken without the opinions of the workers. Next one into the list here, the next one, that is Article 43 capital B, promotion of cooperative societies. Okay, what are cooperative societies? What are their constitutional safeguards? What are their rules and regulations, and how do they work, and how do they provide good support to the local masses? How do they work as a democratic institution? So these are all of the questions that we shall be discussing in a separate segment that will be just based on the cooperative societies. As of now, to understand cooperative societies, it is a group, it is an organization which is comprising of a group of people, a certain group of people, those who have got a certain target, a certain aim, or a certain motive, or could be a theory, okay, as well, or simply speaking, an agenda. And they shall be working for the local area development. Okay, it could be a financial organization, it could be a credit organization, it could be a farmers organization, it could be the workers organization, it could be basically simply the union of the industrial laborers, it could be anything, right? So this is what the cooperative societies they are. Okay, so the state shall endeavor to promote voluntary formation, autonomous functioning, democratic control, and professional management of cooperative societies. Okay, so don't worry with regard to the term cooperative societies. We have a separate chapter based over this name, that is cooperative societies. We will have to discuss it in detail. Okay, that what are the types of cooperative societies in India we have. Like just for an example, we have got the Farmers Association, we have got the credit-based financial institutions, okay, we have got the industrial labor workers, industrial labor associations, okay, not the unions they are. These are the proper established institutions, okay, with all the democratic machineries involved in it, right? So this is what Article 43 capital B. Okay, that is establishment of or promotion of cooperative societies, right? Next one, that is the most debated one as well, present day India, Article 44. The state shall endeavor to secure for all of the citizens a uniform civil code. Yes, the name, the state's name, what you are thinking, that's correct. Yep, Uttarakhand, which has come into the bigger picture of discussion since last couple of months, since it has officially applied uniform civil code inside the territory of Uttarakhand. Now, firstly, what is this uniform civil code? India being a nation of unity in diversity, different cultures, traditions, beliefs, religions, etc. Okay, with regard to the different religion, customs, etc., each and every community, once again, each and every community have got their own personal laws, community specific laws. Just for example, if you are a Muslim, then your community is guided by a rule book, what we call it as Sharia, right? What is Sharia? How do I define this word Sharia? Sharia is not a national law. Sharia is a community specific law which regulates the life, the marriage, divorce, not life actually, the events of life like marriage, divorce, transfer of property, any sort of alimony in case. Okay, so these are the events of life. So if I am a Muslim, I have got the All India Muslim Personal Law Board, AIMPLB, right, which regulates the implementation or implications of Sharia in my life, right? So what will be my terms and conditions of marriage? What will be the proper protocols I would be following? What will be the terms and conditions or the protocols for my divorce in case, right? Do I have to provide any alimony? Am I entitled to receive any sort of dowry? Am I entitled to receive any sort of alimony, right? What will be the provisions for the transfer of property or the ownership of property? Whether the property that is owned by my father or forefathers will be directly transferred to me. Am I the legal heir? Am I entitled to receive that property? Okay, so all of these things, being a Muslim, if in case I am, so this is what all of these things are regulated by a law, and that is not the national law. That is a law for my community only, that is termed as Sharia. So in that very same sense, some other communities are also there, those who have got their distinct personal laws. Okay, separate personal laws, and their marriage, divorce, property transfer, acquisition, etc., etc. That is all of the events of the general human life are guided or implicated through those laws only, right? So this is where Uniform Civil Code comes into the light. What it says, there shall be no community specific laws, civil laws, or the community specific personal laws. Everyone, each and every community should be guided with just one single set of personal laws that should be nationally determined, and it should be equal to all. Whether you are a Hindu, you are a Muslim, you are a Sikh, you are a Christian, you are a Buddhist, you are a Jain, whatever you are, okay, whatever religion you come from, okay, every particular aspect of your life, personal life as in, that is with regard to the marriage, divorce, property, etc., okay, that will be guided with those particular set of laws. But in case Uniform Civil Code is implied or applied throughout the whole of the nation. But as of now, Uttarakhand has become one of those states, or one of the state only, that has officially implemented Uniform Civil Code. Okay, not only implemented, but yes, much of the controversy has followed the implementation of it as well. So what's your opinion? Once the session has ended, okay, after our class has ended, when you see the comment section, comment box, okay, just please do provide your comments And so we will discuss about your comments in the next session, right? What's your opinion? Shall India be having a uniform civil code for the whole of the nation? A centrally specified uniform civil code implied or applied throughout the whole of the nation? If yes, then what's your view? And if no also, then what's your opinion? Right? So if yes, then why? And in case no, then also why? Right? So this is what Article 44. Next one, here we got Article 45. Just like Article 21 capital A. Okay, we have got the another one, that is Article 45. Article 21 capital A was inserted through a distinct amendment, that is 86th Constitutional Amendment Act of 2002, whereas Article 45 was written in the original constitution itself. Okay, so what it says, the state shall endeavor to provide within 10 years from the commencement of this constitution for free and compulsory education for all children until they complete the age of 14 years. Right. So this is what Article 45 has to state. Article 21 capital A, right to education. Article 45, right to education. Article 21 capital A is the fundamental right, whereas Article 45 is the duty of the state to provide education. So right and duty, they are balanced here, right? Next one, here we go. Article 46. One of the most used DPSP, one of the most used article, one of the most. Okay, though all of them are used, not like that, but yes, the most used article with regard to the government and its administration, the policies, programs, is Article 46. And what is that? Promotion of educational and economic interests of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and all of the other weaker sections. And now the statement is justified. That why I said that this is the article which is most used by the government since day one of the inception of the constitution till date. That is what? Promotion of whom? Promotion of the protection and the promotion of the scheduled castes, the scheduled tribes in India, and apart from that, any other weaker section. From backward classes to economically weaker section to physically disabled to whatsoever. Right? So, Article 46, promotion of educational as well as economic interests, SCs, STs, and any other weaker section. So, what it is written here, the state shall promote with special care the educational and economic interest of the weaker sections of our nation, that is the society, and in particular, scheduled castes, the word has been mentioned itself, and the scheduled tribes, and shall also protect them from any sort of social injustice and any forms of or all forms of exploitation. Right? So, when you talk about one of the most discussed, most debated, and I will call it one of the most needed enactments as well, that is the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Act, the SC/ST Promotion and Elimination of any sort of exploitation and discrimination act that came into the decades of 1990. One of the most important, discussed, debated, as well as it has been kept under the controversy, the umbrella of controversy as well, many of the times, with regard to the legal usage and with regard to its absolute agenda. Okay, whether it is fulfilling the agenda for which it has been made or not. Right? So, as of now, the Act, the SC's Prevention of the Atrocities Act, no doubt in that, it has been the wonderful, the most fantastic safeguards provided by the state to our communities termed as scheduled castes and tribes. They need it, no doubt in that. If I'm coming from the scheduled caste background or the tribes background, okay, I need that enactment for my protection as well as for my promotion. Right? So that Article 17 is not infringed. So that Article 17 is not violated. Right? That is right against, there is abolition of untouchability. Right? So no one should be considering me untouchable. And for that I have got the Civil Liberties Act. And for that I have also got the SC's ST's Prevention of Atrocities Act. Right? And I need it. Yes. Even till today, 21st century, 2025, the date it is today. We are in 5th of April. Almost not. First quarter of 2025 has passed as well. And still today, being a modern state, being a modern economy as well, world's 5th largest economy, I am troubled. Because though I am 5th largest economy, though I have got a good army, a good navy, a good air force, a good defense machinery, a good administrative machinery, a good strong judicial setup, but still discrimination exists. And because of that discrimination, exploitation also comes into the picture. And for that sake, I need such type of acts. And so Article 46 becomes what? One of the most needed, discussed, debated, and controversial act as well. Right? The next one, Article 47. It is the duty of the state to protect the environment. Okay, raise the level of nutrition actually. Okay, environment's nutrition. No, nutrition of the masses. Right? So duty of the state to raise the level of nutrition and the standard of living as well, and to improve the public health. As we were discussing about the judicial review, if you have seen that current event class where we were discussing about the public interest litigation, PIL, right? So in that, we discussed about that Article 25 and 26, and apart from that in fundamental rights segment as well, that how judiciary or the Supreme Court of India, Honorable Supreme Court of India, has barred the citizens or banned any type of sale, purchase, construction or manufacturing of firecrackers inside the Delhi NCR region. Though it's my fundamental right to religion to celebrate Diwali with the firecrackers, but still, Supreme Court has taken a cognizant action. We must take the name, okay, we must take the word, and has banned any sort of sale purchase of firecrackers inside Delhi NCR region. Is Supreme Court right? Yes, absolutely, Supreme Court is right with regard to the subjects of law and order, health, and morality. We have to keep these things in mind while enjoying my festivals, while enjoying my religion. And apart from that, yes, the state is also authorized. The state is also instructed by the Constitution itself that take care of the health of the people. Take care about the level of nutrition of the masses. And for that sake, you know, what we have understood that according to the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, and before that, the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, okay, yeah, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, the students, those who are in school, they are provided with midday meals, right? And this midday meals, they are basically coming from or authorized or empowered from an article that is 47. Okay, that's number will be 47. That is the duty of the state to raise the level of nutrition as well as the standard of living and improve the public health. And apart from that, it is also the duty of the state to try to eliminate the intoxicated substances from the market. Okay, any of those substances that are consumed and that are literally dangerous or, you know, providing some harmful impacts or effects over the health of the masses, those are the things should be also banned. Okay, those are the things should be also taken care by the state. Okay, like for example, it's like I'm not saying you guys are, it's just for an example, you might have seen for sure, right? If you have seen a cigarette packet or the packet of a tobacco, so the first thing that you see on the packet is the statutory warning that if you consume tobacco or if you just smoke or you go ahead with any sort of consumption of a liquor, it's dangerous and harmful for health. Okay, so this is a campaign started by the government itself. You watch any movie, any series or any type of a video over any platform, okay, any digital platform. So if there is a scene which represents any individual smoking or boozing alcohol or chewing tobacco, then there is a particular strap you can see somewhere at the corner or maybe at the center of the screen as well, that is this cigarette smoking is injurious to health, tobacco consumption is injurious to health, or this liquor consumption is injurious to health, etc., etc. Or whenever you go to watch movie inside a cinema hall, so the first thing what you watch, a statutory ad. Okay, an ad that represents that how people are suffering because of the consumption of the intoxicating substances. from tobacco to cigarette to liquor and whatsoever. So this is what mentioned in Article 47. That is what the duty of the state to raise the level of nutrition and the standard of living as well, along with improving the public health. Right? Next, Article 48. Organization of agriculture and animal husbandry. The state shall endeavor to organize animal husbandry, protect agriculture, modernize, and provide all the scientific means to it. And apart from that, in particular, take steps for the preserving and improving of the breeds that are basically milching. Okay, so all the milching animals, okay, those who provide us milk, okay, they shall be kept in utmost priority when it comes to the protection of animals and promotion of animal husbandry or agriculture even, right? So that is why the term or the animal of cow is too much debated in India. Well, this is on a personal note, I must admit this. People might call me, are you from that Andhbhakt section of the society these days, or you are from the Chamcha section of society these days, or are you from the orthodox school of thought or a stereotype personality belonging to a set of political ideology? No, absolutely not. I am very neutral here. In fact, I call myself more communist in nature as well. So, but still, whatever the political ideologies are, let's not, ignore the reality. Cow is literally a holy animal. An animal that provides us not with just the milk, but it is also having much of the religious importance. In not just one religion, in many religions. Right? Okay? And hence, it makes us to understand that yes, this is a sort of an animal that must be protected along with others, obviously. I'm not saying that other animals may not be protected. Along with other animals, cows should be also given the status of protection. Right? And this is also what is mentioned in the constitution. This is also, even if you do not have any religious belief or any type of a religious association or something like that, then also, okay, forget that. Then also it is mentioned here, Article 48, specifically the word, the cows. That is simply speaking, the milching animals. And cow, make no mistake, it's a milching animal. And it should be protected. Right? Okay. So this is simple thing. Article 48, Organization of Agriculture, Promotion of Animal Husbandry. In that, protect the milching animals. Cow, calves, whatsoever. Right? So this is what? Article 48. Next one, Article 48, capital A. Protection and improvement of environment and safeguarding of the forests and wildlife. For that, we have got some enactments, some statutes, some laws passed by the Union Parliament that are every now and then in our current affairs. So I believe you guys are watching the live sessions of either the Indian Express analysis class taken 4 p.m. every day by Ankit sir, or the Hindu analysis class taken by me only every day at 9 a.m. Right? So I hope you guys are there. Right? So in that sessions, call it the Hindu session or the Indian Express session. Okay, you have got both the sessions on the very same channel. I don't know how many of you guys are watching it. Okay, so every day, either in the Hindu, either in the Indian Express, every day, there is no single day when this article or the statutes through these articles are not in news. Like for example, the Wildlife Protection Act. Okay, this is today only we have discussed in today's the Hindu analysis class about the Agastya Malai Biosphere Reserve. Okay, so we have got the Wildlife Protection Act of 1986. Okay, this is every day in news, every day. Either of the newspaper, call it the Hindu, call it the Indian Express. Okay, protection of wild animals. Okay, Environmental Protection Act. We have got it. We have got some international commitments as well, from Kyoto Protocol to Copenhagen to Rio de Janeiro. Okay, to Ramsar Convention. Then apart from that, the Conference of Parties and number of international commitments we have done in order to protect the mother nature. That is continuing the greenery of this nation, continuing the name the blue planet. Right. So protection and implementation of environment and safeguarding the forests along with the wildlife. Wildlife, flora, fauna, everything. Not just the flora, not just the fauna, everything. Right? So this is the duty of the state. Okay, the state shall endeavor to protect and improve the environment and safeguards the forests and wildlife of our country. Article 48, capital A. Next, Article 49. Protection of monuments and places and objects of national importance. From Qutub Minar to Lal Killa. From Taj Mahal to Sikri Fort. From Buland Darwaza to Hawa Mahal. To Char Minar, to Kailasha Temple, to the Dilwara temples, to the Kamakhya Devi temple, to any particular monument, okay, from any particular location which is having our representation of national heritage, right? It should be protected, whether it is related to ancient history, medieval or modern. From the areas of Chauri Chaura to Bhavani Imli, it's national monument now, right? It must be protected. You call it the Rashtrapati Bhavan, you call it the older parliament building, okay? You call it whatsoever, okay? It is what? It is a national monument, and it is also the duty of state to protect it. If it is a temple, it's a masjid, it's a church, it's a gurudwara, national heritage it is a national monument, okay? If it is a house belonging to any great freedom fighter, freedom fighters, they are often great. We need not take the word great here. Freedom fighter itself is the word synonym to great. Okay. So if it is anything belonging to our freedom fighters, okay, related to our military, okay, or whatsoever, it is our duty to protect them. Right. So the protection of monuments and places and objects of national importance. Right. Next, Article 50. If you remember, the very first class of our Indian polity series, where we were discussing about the features of the Indian Constitution. Okay, the special features, the facts related to our Indian Constitution. There we discussed that there was a guy, he was named as Montesquieu in France, a French political philosopher by the time period of 17th, 18th centuries. Okay, he wrote a book named as The Spirit of Laws, and in that he gave a theory that is termed as the separation of powers, or the theory of checks and balances, in which he told that the classical understanding of the democracy is that there are three pillars in every democracy. Pillar 1, legislature; 2, executive; and 3, judiciary. All of the three wings, they do work independent of each other, and they do not interfere in the matters of each other, right? All of the three wings of the democracy should be independent of each other and should not be interfering in the matters of each other. And this is what the same thing has been mentioned in our DPSP segment as well. That is Article 50, separation of judiciary from executive. Though legislature word is not mentioned here, but with regard to executive, they have also represented legislature. Okay, as in India, being unique nation, from every facets, history to geography to polity, we are unique, right? So in India, we have got a unique feature in our polity as well, that we do follow the principles of dual membership. Guys, make it clear, I'm not dealing with the principles of dual citizenship, that we don't follow. I'm talking about dual membership, not citizenship. Dual membership as in a person who is a member of legislature could also be the member of executive, and vice versa. The person who is member of executive could be the member of legislature, or the person who is member of legislature could also be the member of executive. Like for example, Prime Minister, member of legislature as well as executive. President, part of legislature as well as executive. Council of Ministers, cabinet, part of legislature as well as executive. Right? Okay. So that is why Article 50, legislature word, has not been mentioned by the Constitution framers. Okay. But simply what they have stated, separation of judiciary from executive, right? Okay. So next and the last one here into the list, into the chapter of DPSPs, that is Article 51, promotion of international peace and security. Yeah. We're not just dealing with the domestic peace and security, not just the internal security. We're talking about the international geopolitical security right dimensions as well. So it's the duty of the state of India to make sure that the world is at peace as well. Might be sounding so funny to you guys that we are not even, having peace inside our country. There are many, violence, clashes, riots, yay, woe, etc., etc. How are we going to discuss with, how are we even mentioning international peace, right? Yep, we are mentioning it because it is the duty. It's not about how are we performing it. It's about, do we have this duty or not? So it's not about how much successful we are in implementing peace nationally and internationally. It's about, this is our duty. Okay, mentioned in the Constitution. So the state shall endeavor for following things, that is, promote international peace and security, maintain just and honorable relations between the nations, foster respect for international law and treaty, then encourage settlement of international disputes, and going ahead with the all sort of arbitration as well in case of disputes, right? So this is what was also framed by Pandit Ji, that is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, okay, while he was mentioning this one, that is Panchsheel. Okay, so whenever we'll start the subject of IR, okay, so the first thing that we have to discuss before going ahead into the rest of the chapters is the basic features of IR. In that, we have got the India's foreign policy and the base, the theme, the principles, the genesis, okay, of the foreign policy of our country comes with the name Panchsheel, that is the 5 principles given by our former or the first ever Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and these are the principles that were signed between India and China as well in the year 1954, right? So guys, now let's just talk about the amendments that are done inside our DPSP segment. So as we can see, for the second amendment, it added Article 39 capital A that we have discussed yesterday, and today while discussing Article 43 capital A, management, okay, and establishment of cooperative societies, and apart from that, Article 48 capital A, that is through the environmental protection, okay, that is also coming from the 42nd amendment. Okay, cooperative societies is not 42nd, sorry, cooperative societies, they are through the 97th amendment. Okay, so 86th amendment that provide Article 21 capital A also boosted or added some new features to Article 45. Okay, so basic amendments, that is Article 42, amendment number 42, 86 and 97. With 42, Article 39 capital A, Article 43 capital A and Article 48 capital A. With 86th, Article 45 was enhanced. And yes, with 97th Constitutional Amendment Act of 2011, Article 43 capital B was inducted. Okay, so guys, that's it with regard to the chapter of DPSP. But yes, hold on. We have to discuss the battle between fundamental rights and DPSPs and the cases related to it. Yeah, what? Battles? War between 2 provisions of the Constitution. Yeah, that's correct. You heard it right. There is too much of tussle between fundamental rights and DPSPs, and big major differences are also created. Okay, so far we have discussed about fundamental rights and DPSPs. But in the next session, we are going to discuss about the battle. So far, the battles you would have discussed in your history segment only. In ancient history, in medieval history, modern history, okay, right? Or the battles in the post-independence India, the wars we had fought with not so good neighborhood, right? But yeah, there is also a battle or a war that is not fought with weapons, but yes, fought with regard to the provisions and ideologies, okay, that is between fundamental rights and DPSPs. So what are the battles? How are they fought? Who won and why? What are the case studies and what are the further theories that we shall discuss on Monday? Okay, so guys, that's it for now in this session, and thank you so much for watching, and please do subscribe to our StudyIQ IS English channel made only for you, right? And apart from that, if you wish to connect with me, it's here. Okay. If you want to connect with me over Instagram, so username will be Praveen Mishra _2107. And if you want to connect with me with Telegram, so the username or the channel name will be study_with_Praveen. So whatever platforms you are using, okay, you can connect with me and let me know whatever your academics related doubt. And for sure, I will try my best to eliminate the doubt. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do hit the like button in case you like the video. And yes, what's your view? What's your opinion over the Uniform Civil Code as well? Let me know into the comment section. Good day, guys. See you all tomorrow now into the Current Affairs Marathon class, and then day after tomorrow in the Art and Culture as well as the Polity class. Good day. See you.